All right, it's time for yet another fabulous Sunday night news and nonsense. We got Deckard and we got Toss. How you doing, Toss?
I have no sound effects, but Spatry, a quick shout out to our podcast partner from Australia, IG. I believe he got married last month, so congratulations to IG.
Congratulations!
Yeah, congrats.
Cool. How you doing, Deckard?
Not too shabby. How about you?
Oh,
well, that's our show,
yeah.
folks. We'll catch you later. Goodbye.
Well, guess what, kids? It looks like the Linux Foundation wants to rein in its insult-spewing leader. Linus Torvalds, the inventor of the Linux kernel, is a bona fide genius. He's also a regular guy and not nearly the kind of monster he's been made out to be. But he doesn't suffer fools. He loves four-letter words and a huge sense of humor. And that combination has got him into increasing amounts of hot water over the years, to which he's mostly responded with the kind of color he's known for. On Monday, the Linux Foundation sorta slapped him on the wrist when they issued a new code of conduct policy and declaring personal insults or abuse are not welcome. And this comes after Linus Torvalds' latest brouhaha in January, which went viral. So, I don't know about this.
It's about damn time. Holy moly.
I still think he's going to get crazy with people on the mailing lists.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm so confused. I thought the Linux speaking person was Spatry. I am so confused tonight, but no. Was he really that bad?
Oh God, yes. Holy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look it up. Oh my God.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, he swore at people and stuff like that, especially, when we heard about System D and that sort of thing. He ranted all kinds of insults and everything. Absolutely.
Well, wait. I have an explanation. I think it's medical. I think his body is full of bugs.
What you got, Deckard?
Alrighty, so going back to yesterday's topic, after topping 700 Linux games back in October, Steam now offers over 1,000 games for Linux and those upcoming Steam machines. And all that software is getting some hardware to match. The Steam machines are coming out and all of the software developers are getting on board. We now have 1,005 games and counting. That's since October, so that really gives you an idea of how fast-paced we're going to be in this next year here. So, I anticipate at least 2,000 games by the end of the year.
Deckard, apparently you didn't pay any attention during the Zoo Crew episode. Actually, I counted 1,010 games, actually, that they have out.
Oh, five off.
I know. I'm a bad man. What you got, Toss?
Well, I too have some Steam news, and I have a question for you guys too regarding this, but I guess towards the end of this year, the Steam boxes will be officially available. But guys, I have a question. These Steam boxes, the price, if I saw the pricing correctly, will start at $500 up to thousands of dollars. Now, if the Steam boxes are partly there to promote Linux games, how is this going to compete with a $350 Xbox One or the Sony PlayStation if they're kind of like higher priced? How is that going to work?
Well, if you consider this, these are actually PCs, and these are going to, you'll be able to swap out components out of these things. So if you want to upgrade the graphics, you can do that. PC, you've built your own computers before, so you know how modular they are. If you want to upgrade something, you just pull the card out, put it in a new one.
Okay, so these PCs will run both Linux and Windows games?
Actually, I think they're going to be designed to run just Steam OS.
Yeah, it's going to be just Steam OS. But, as history has proven, just because a product is far superior doesn't mean that people are going to be willing to pay the hefty price tag.
Yes.
And not only that, but because it's using a Debian-based distribution, and we've already seen videos on YouTube where people have enabled repositories. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody were to install Play on Linux on their Steam machine and then start running Windows applications through Wine. You could do that theoretically.
Okay, I guess time will tell.
All right. Well, let me see what is next in here. This is interesting, and this comes off the ZDNet website. No reboot patching comes to Linux 4.0. With the new Linux 4.0 kernel, you'll need to reboot less often than ever. Now, with Linux 4.0, you may never have to reboot your operating system again. And one reason to love Linux on your servers or in your data center is that you seldom need to reboot it. True, critical patches require a reboot, but you could go months without rebooting. Now, with the latest changes to the Linux kernel, you may be able to go years between reboots. This is actually a feature that was available in Linux in 2009 thanks to a program called ksplice. The program compares the original and patched kernels and then uses a customized kernel module to patch the new code into the running kernel. Each ksplice enabled kernel comes with a special set of flags for each function that will be patched. The ksplice process then watches for a moment when the code or function being patched isn't in use, and ta-da, the patch is made and your server runs on. Now, apparently, Oracle acquired ksplice in 2011. So what happened was Red Hat and OpenSUSE both started working on their own purely open source means of giving Linux the ability to keep running even when critical patches were being installed. Now, we had a discussion with this here at Cup of Linux with some people, and we all speculated this is probably going to be something that people are going to run on their servers, but not really so much for the desktop user.
Yeah, I really only see this being a server thing, but to really put this into perspective for people that don't know, think about Google running this sort of software. One machine goes down, that could be thousands of dollars per second that they're down. If they don't have to reboot for, a few years, that's absolutely incredible. So I could imagine a really, really big cash cow on this sort of thing.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is, with all of the servers that Google has running and that sort of thing, if one server goes down, they have another server to carry that load and that sort of thing. But this is great for the enterprise customer who doesn't really have a whole room full of servers, and they'd be able to just keep their site up and running without having any downtime. I think it's a great thing. What you got, Deckard?
Alrighty, so here's a little bit of nonsense for you.
Here it comes, kids.
A restroom at a Walmart in eastern Indiana has been closed indefinitely after an employee discovered a working meth lab inside.
Well, a working meth lab.
State police say a Walmart employee alerted police after seeing a man he described as suspicious after the restroom enter the restroom at about 11:30 p.m. local time Thursday with a pack and leave without it. The Star Press reports that the members of the state police meth lab suppression team removed the dangerous chemicals. I think that is a first no matter where you are in the world. Who thinks that it's okay to put a meth lab in a Walmart public restroom? What's going down in there in the States? You guys losing your mind a little bit?
Excuse me, I have to run to the restroom right now. Bye.
Toss, I think that goes along with the nonsense report you had last week about the guy calling 911 because his wife stole his Coke snap.
Yeah, that's a true story. Maybe he was calling from the Walmart store. Yeah, right.
What you got, Toss?
All right, let's see. Have some more good Ubuntu phone news. Apparently, the Chinese smartphone maker Misu, something like that, they're going to release their version of the Note called the M1, which would be powered by Ubuntu. So apparently, the growing numbers of Ubuntu smartphone users, the news looks good. The phone will have a 5.5-inch screen, 2 gig of RAM, and all that good stuff. So yeah, for those of you who have the Samsung Galaxy Note, I'm assuming it's built off of that. Yet another phone for the Ubuntu smartphone family. So good for Ubuntu.
All right, awesome stuff. And Google's got something going on here. Google's solar drone internet tests are about to take off. Google's ambitious plans to provide internet access to remote areas via solar-powered drones are getting ready to take off. Titan Aerospace, the drone maker acquired last year by Google to help realize the project, recently applied for and received 2 licenses from the U.S. Federal Communication Commission to run tests over the next 6 months. The licenses, which are valid from March 8th until December 5th, don't give away much because Google has asked the FCC to keep many of the details confidential for commercial reasons. But they revealed the tests will take place inside a 1,345 square kilometer area to the east of Albuquerque. The area includes the town of Moriarty, where Titan Aerospace is headquartered and conducts its research and development work. Now, I don't know if any of you guys saw any of these videos YouTube had up, but they were also launching air balloons into the upper atmosphere to give people 3G internet access. And this is something that they're really working on, to actually have a global, worldwide internet that everybody can access. I know that the internet service providers are really loving that one.
Well, that story is just full of hot air. Just let me tell you. But no.
You know,
Your turn, Deckard.
There's some speculation about that World Wide Web. The more we get people involved in getting on the internet easier, such as these hot air balloon sort of things, as well as, you know, satellites going around for free internet access, people are saying that this might be the entry point to world peace, because the more we communicate with people, the less likely we want to kill them. But on to my news here. Iron Man-themed bionic arm. Engineering doctoral student Albert Minero's bionic arm project got a big boost recently after Robert Downey Jr., also known as the Super Iron Man, an Iron Man medical arm to a 7-year-old boy. Minero says he's now in talks with the United Nations and UNICEF to put teams around the world to create and distribute inexpensive prosthetic arms. That's absolutely amazing stuff. Have you seen the video on it?
Yes, I have. Actually, somebody posted that on the forum, and Robert Downey Jr. gives this kid an arm that looks just like one of Iron Man's arms, and that sort of thing. It was really, really heartwarming, and yeah, it was a very, very nice video to see. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That was a cool story, yeah. Let's see. I have a little bit of Microsoft news. Microsoft's digital assistant Cortana. Of course, Cortana, played by the lovely female actress Jen Taylor, and then the voice of the Halo Master Chief game. Apparently, that digital assistant is coming to Android and Apple devices later this year. Now, here's my question. I can see it coming to Android, but will Apple take Cortana since they have Siri?
I don't know, but now Microsoft is making applications for Android. So then again, you know, when Linus Torvalds says, you know, if the day that Microsoft starts making software that runs on Linux devices, that means I've won. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting about Microsoft is, you know, back in the day, they were really software kind of people. They didn't really dive into the operating system stuff so much. They were language developers and so on. Then they turned out to be, you know, the great big Windows people. And as soon as you think Microsoft, you think operating system. But it seems to be more and more that they're going back into their roots and just doing software-related things like porting Cortana to Android and such. In my mind, though, you know, Cortana on Apple, that's going to be a huge flop. But also in my mind, Cortana in general is going to be a big flop. So I don't know so much about that.
I think you may be right as far as Cortana, because Apple started it with their own Siri. I don't think it'll be a flop on the Android, and I don't think it'll be a flop in Windows 10. I've been testing it. Now it is a beta. It seems to work. I think it'll be fine, but I just don't see it coming to Apple because they just don't need it.
Well, you know what the thing is? Think about this. Siri on Apple devices, how often do you use that? I mean, really, how often do you really use that for production purposes or to achieve some goal other than, a quick laugh? I don't see Cortana being a huge thing. Maybe it'll be the next Siri sort of thing, but I think it's way overhyped.
Yeah.
Well, the voice commands like go to web, go to music, go to this, go to texting. I mean, it does have its functionality, but yeah.
Yeah, not my thing, though. And besides, it might have back doors, and the NSA might be able to spy on it.
Oh, boy.
NSA! NSA! Everybody loves the NSA! Congress girds for Patriot Act fight over NSA spying. Mike Rogers, the director of the National Security Agency, sat down to talk face-to-face with his fiercest critics in a House office in January. The visit was more than just a courtesy call. With the legal authority for the NSA's phone data dragnet set to expire June 1st, Rogers needs his enemies. Reformers are girding for a fight with congressional leaders and the looming deadline to reorganize several Patriot Act provisions gives the former group unprecedented leverage. Gotta love all this NSA news, huh, Toss?
Yep, it's pretty exciting. I didn't have my crickets thing going, but...
Cue the crickets. Hold on, let me cue the crickets.
Okay. Yes, destroy your own story. There you go.
Epic fail there. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I have a little bit of nonsense. Deckard, where exactly is Surrey in British Columbia?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Well, apparently there was a police chase giving chase on a man on a motorcycle through one of your malls. I've never seen this before. I've never heard this before, but I have to give the alleged driver some credit to actually take his bike speeding through a mall. That sounds like a scene out of a next Terminator movie or something, right? Right, Spatry?
Absolutely.
I heard about that. I heard he was going through the mall and people were trying to dive out of his way. But, in my mind, I think it's okay. I think he profusely apologized afterwards, being the Canadian nature.
Well, maybe he was speed shopping. And finally, there is this is for real. There is a TV priest, a TV evangelist. His name is Creflo Dollar. Apparently, he is asking his sheep, or I don't know what he called, flock, his friends, whatever, some money to donate to the congregation, which I don't have a problem with that. What is unusual, guys, is that he's asking for a couple 100,000 people to donate enough money so he can buy a new $65 million private jet. Now,
yeah, sure. Let me get my checkbook out for you.
Yeah, in fact, Spatry Deckard, I just looked it up. In the book of Proverbs, section 2, it says, "Thou shalt tend to your flock while flying around in your jet." So it's perfectly understandable. Yeah.
What you got, Deckard?
Alrighty, some story from Britain here. Britain's number 2 bus. They call it the Genico Biobus. Britain's first poo bus, which runs on human and household waste, is to be launched later this month on the number 2 passenger service. Along its 15-mile route, the biobus will use waste from more than 32,000 households. That must be some really big breakthrough, but holy crap, 32,000 households for 15 miles.
And let me guess, when they collect the fare, you just crap in the hole, right?
Well, believe it or not, if you've seen the picture of this bus, there are actually pictures of people on the toilet posted along the side of the bus. So, yeah.
Talk about a crappy story. Jeez.
Oh, hey, let's get a little bit more momentum on this one, all right? Your farts could tell your doctor about your digestive health. This is from Popular Science, actually. The quantity and diversity of bacteria that populate the human gut is truly mind-boggling. There are over 10,000 species of microbes, and for every human gene in your body, there are 360 microbial genes. Researchers are just starting to understand the importance of these microbes to our digestion. In an editorial published in Cell Press, a team of Australian researchers argued that doctors should be spending more time analyzing patients' gaseous byproducts, you may know them as farts, to better understand their digestive health. And apparently what they've got here is some diagrams, and apparently they've got this like micro pill or something that you swallow, and then they can, read all of this information in a computer. Kind of weird, actually.
I don't know what else to say to that, except I'll just hit the button.
Anything else, Toss?
Besides that, the sound effect. Oh, wait a minute, Spatchy. Just for you, since you enjoy saying total BS today, maybe we can do this on a weekly basis. How about a short total BS? Yeah. This is a total BS or total OS moment. I'll let you and Deckard vote for this, like thumbs up or thumbs down. But here it goes, real quick. My computer chair broke, and after 2 years, I was really upset, but I fixed it with a piece of PVC plastic tubing, a 4.5-inch piece, cut it down to size, inserted it on the little, not the pump, but the piston rod that adjusts the chair, because I had that sinking feeling, as it were. I inserted that in, put the chair back together, and now my chair does not sink anymore, at least now. So is that a total BS story, or is it a thumbs up, meaning a total OS story?
Actually, I think that's probably a pretty darn good idea. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you sit down in the office chair and they kind of sink up and down, that sort of thing, and using a piece of PVC to prevent that from happening.
Yes.
I think I think that would actually work very well.
Yeah, there was like a leak in the fluid or the gas. It was kind of strange. I went to my local Lowe's store. Quick shout out to the gentleman at Lowe's. Very helpful. When I told him what I was going to do, first he showed me this 10-foot pole of PVC. I'm like, well, I suppose that'll work, but I didn't want to buy a rocket launcher. Then when I said it's for my chair, he says, wait, a chair? And then I told him, oh, well, let's just get this like 12-inch piece and then we'll cut it down the size. So he was very helpful. It didn't take that long, and it worked. So there you go.
Yeah, that's a total thumbs up from me.
Yeah, I'll give you a thumbs up on that one, too. And, of course, I assume you, coated it with some Kilt's primer and then sprayed it so that it matches and everything, right? Of course you did.
Of course, I put a little bow and a ribbon on it. Yeah, it smells great, yeah.
All right, good one. Anything else, Deckard?
All righty. Naked man set fire to house and knocked on doors to find his next wife. Alex Chambrello calls himself Lucifer from hell and went on a wrecking spree in a bid to find his next wife. Another story from the UK. Wonderful gentleman here, all tattooed up, got piercings all over the place. Apparently was running around setting fire to people's houses trying to find his next wife. Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
I think that was a scene.
Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
I think that was a scene in 50 Shades of Grey, right? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I don't have anything else.
I'm done.
That's all for me.
But I got something here. Why don't we give something away to one of our listeners here?
Okay.
Experience the ancient Swedish phenomena of year walking through a different kind of first-person adventure that blurs the line between 2 and 3 dimensions, as well as reality and the supernatural. Let's go ahead and give a Steam key out to somebody. Toss. Give me a letter between A and Z in the alphabet.
Well, I'll tell you what, my son's middle name starts with the B as in Bob, so let's go B.
Okay, letter B, that corresponds with Brian, who's in our listening room, so he's the winner of our Steam key.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Awesome show, everybody. Join us next week. We'll be here next Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another News and Nonsense report. Thanks, everybody, for joining us in the listening room. Thank you, Deckard, for joining us as well. And we'll see you next time. Be sure to join us at cupoflinux.com. We've got a game tournament starting next week, right, Deckard?
We absolutely do. Be sure to check out the forum post that Spatry made. It's his latest post. Sign up there on the sheet to be entered into our tournament. We'll be playing OpenRA. The winner of the match receives a $25 Steam key, and a random player from the entire match will win a $25 Steam key as well, which you can use to purchase whatever Steam games you'd like, hopefully for Linux.
Absolutely. And after everybody has signed up, I'll start putting names on the chart. We got a picture of the chart there, and if we need to, make more slots for people to get in on a tournament, we will do that. So it should be a lot of fun. So definitely join us for that. And that will be on. We have game nights on Saturday nights, so they'll start. They'll be starting at about 8:45, I believe, because we do Star Conflict first before we do. Before we do open Red Alert. But it depends. I mean, if we have really a bunch of people sign up for the tournament, we may just skip Star Conflict and just go right into the tournament at 8 o'clock if we have a lot of people. That way everybody gets a chance to play. And then, of course, to win the random drawing, you'll need to be present. You'll need to be present for. You not only need to be signed up, but you also need to be present when we make that drawing. So, yeah, good stuff indeed. All right, well, we'll see you all next week. Thank you, all of you, once again, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.
Take care, everyone.
Ciao.